New year, new me, new year, new me. No. It may be a new year. You might have a new vision board for yourself. You might think that this year's going to be different for you, where you achieve everything you want, but you're not considering the fact that you're still the same you. You still self-sabotage yourself. You're still heartbroken. You're still harped on all the people that hurt you in the past. You're still surrounding yourself with people who drain you and unmotivate you. You still have the same doubts. You still have the same fears. Oh, but you expect everything to be different this year. Because look around yourself and look at all the toxicity that you have surrounded yourself with. Do you genuinely believe that this year will be different for you when this is all you see, this is all you hear, this is all you feel? Because the calendar number changed. It went from 25 to 26, or whenever you're watching this, suddenly everything becomes different. I don't believe the date changing is going to make anything different. I believe that if you shift your mindset and change who you are for the better, that's when you achieve everything that you want in life. And this video will be a quick, simple guide from shifting from your victim complex, the old narratives you told yourself, letting go of the old you who has not been serving you for your highest good, and stepping into the version of yourself that actually does achieve everything. And it's going to help you reprogram your mind in order to genuinely become the new you. First thing you want to do is you want to evaluate your narrative, your inner narrative. Now, there are 3 types of narratives that people tell themselves. You're either the hero in your own story, the healer, or the victim. The heroes of the world, they believe that no matter what they are faced with, they will overcome it no matter what. That they always improve despite everything that they've gone through. They are the heroes of their own story, essentially. Healers believe that they are here to be of service to others. And the victims believe that they are a victim in every single situation, that things always happen to them. And the victims believe everything bad always happens to me. Poor me, because struggle, poverty, unhappiness, fear, doubt, they will become normalized to their subconscious. And most of you guys, I'm sorry to say, are telling yourselves the victim narrative, that you are the victim in every situation. And listen, I know what it feels like to have a victim complex. People with victim complexes were victims at one point of their lives. There was a point in your life where you had no control, and yet you had to face with pain and suffering and trauma. But the more you cling on to that narrative, the more it manifests into your present and your future, and it no longer serves you in the long run, right? Those terrible things that happened to you growing up, they no longer exist beyond your own reminder that they happened. Blaming your childhood trauma in your adulthood as to why you're struggling with self-doubt, self-sabotage, feeling sorry for yourself, villainizing everyone around you, is not serving you any longer. It feels safe, it feels comforting to your subconscious, it feels normal to you maybe, but it's not helping you. Take back your power. Stop giving your power away to everything that happened to you, to all the people that hurt you. The more you do that, the more you're going to look back every single new year and think, wow, nothing actually changed. Why am I still the same person? Why am I not able to achieve the things that other people are achieving? Why is manifestation so hard for me? I think what you need to do in order to get over your past trauma is think of your past as a book. Read it once in a while. I can learn this from this thing that happened to me, and that from that thing that happened to me. But imagine you only read one book for the rest of your life. Think how much knowledge you would miss out on. Think how much that would block your evolvement and your growth. That is what you do to yourself every time you stay stuck in your past. Every time you attach yourself to the narrative that other people pushed onto you in your past. And what would happen is, because you keep reading that same book, you're not able to just look around and notice all the beautiful things that happen to you. You miss opportunities. You miss amazing people that want to enter your life. You miss amazing relationships. You miss out on job opportunities, career opportunities, opportunities for growth, or just honestly, even simple things like sunlight, nature, things that we can observe in our environment. You're not going to be able to focus on anything because you keep reading the same damn little book of your past. Tell me how that's serving you. No, tell me. See, the more you look for the key to get out of the cage that you've put yourself in, the more you're going to struggle, because you keep looking for the key in your situationships, your relationships, your partner, your family, your friends, your job, money, everything. And guess what, babe? The key's in your pocket. It has been the whole time. you just keep looking at everyone else. Please let me out. Please let me out. Meanwhile, you had the power to do it this whole time. The second thing is understanding how our brain works. When you used to be in a classroom and a teacher used to tell you, everyone get into groups, where would you first gravitate towards? You would go to the people that you're most familiar with, that you're friends with, you've had the most time spent with, right? The most familiarity with. That is what happens when you try to think of the future and you try to think of your goals, and yet because your brain is so used to going to pain, trauma, fear, doubt, those are the neurons that keep connecting your mind. Those are the thoughts that your brain keeps gravitating towards because it's so used to it. If you thought of your neurons as friends and you think of yourself as the teacher in that classroom, how about starting to direct your mind and those neurons to group of things that are going to focus on the positives, on how things can go right instead of how things can go wrong. Just because things have gone wrong your whole life doesn't mean that's going to be the rest of your life. That is what I mean when I mean change the narrative in your mind. Once you decide that is no longer you, you're no longer the victim, you're the hero or the heroine in your life now. Evaluate the habits you have right now. When you set a goal for yourself, it's very easy to keep yourself in this delusion of, oh, I'm going to achieve this thing. What tends to demotivate you every time you set yourself a goal? Let's say you just want to eat healthy, let's say. After a month, after 2 months this year, you're going to get to a point where you feel demotivated, right? You're going to slowly start making excuses in your mind like, oh, I'm tired. Oh no, this is not working. Oh no. And really, you know what it is? It's your self-doubt kicking in, because the real you starts to come out instead of the version of you that believes in yourself, which is the new you, right? New year, new me. You start to go back and resort back to the old you because your mind thinks, this is safer. This is who I really am. No. This new version of me, this is not me. This is not safe. And I don't want to actually get the results. I just want to keep myself in the delusion that I'm going to get results for the thing that I want. And so what happens is your mind is constantly telling you, hey, I don't actually believe we can do this. So let me try and think of an excuse as to why we should stop doing this thing in order to get to the goal. Oh, let me just have a cheat day. No, actually, you know what? I don't feel like this makes much of a difference. Whatever it is, it's all one by one, and then eventually becomes every day you're eating something that isn't good for you, right? That is just one example. It doesn't have to be about eating healthy. It could be about literally whatever you want. It could be about money. It could be about your career. It could be about travel, whatever it is, apply it to that. What you need to understand though is every time you start to doubt yourself, it's really the universe telling you, hey, I know you said you want this thing and I want you to have it. I want to give it to you. But I think we have some fears and doubts that we need to go through, right? We need to work through this first so that I can actually give it to you, so that you can actually hold it. Because I could give you money, and then because you don't actually deserve, you should have that much money, you might make reckless decisions and spend it thoughtlessly and mindlessly, right? And then that opportunity is wasted and that gift is wasted. But the universe or God or whatever you believe in, whatever you want to call it, is like, hey, I want to give all of it to you and I want you to be able to hold it in the best way that you can, but you need to work on yourself first. So when fears and doubts start creeping up, that is an opportunity and initiation for growth. It is not a sign to stop, to give up. Because when you give up on your goals, you're giving up on yourself, because you told yourself that this was the new you. And yet, what? You're just going to resort back to the old you now when it becomes hard, when it becomes inconvenient. The next thing is stop attaching your happiness to the outcome. You see, many of us will be like, oh, I really just want to be happy this year, right? Oh, I hope I can just be happy, I can be rich, I can be successful, I can whatever it is. You want to believe that one day that thing will happen, but it never happens. And you know why? It's because you're seeing it as this state of being in the future. And that's why you will always feel like you're chasing after it, just about reach, but never in your hands. But what you need to understand, that feeling successful, feeling happy, they're all emotions. It is a state of being. So if I decide that I'm happy, even if I don't get every single little minuscule thing that I want, that everything works out in the best way for me, for my highest good, in a way that's going to allow me to grow and learn in the best way I can, then that will be my reality. Because the real reason why it doesn't happen is because you're attaching it to a job, a specific outcome, a specific amount in your bank account, a specific romantic relationship entering your life, a specific kind of friendship, a specific kind of environment. You only allow yourself to be happy once you attain that result. And even then you feel empty because you're not understanding that happiness is an emotion for a reason. You're supposed to feel it regardless of physical, tangible results around you. And once you get into that state of being, suddenly everything starts happening for you. Everything starts becoming true. Everything you want starts attracting towards you without you even trying. And this is the art of detachment. It's not about not caring. It's about being content and peaceful and happy about where you are right now. People aren't trying to be happy. People choose to be happy. And so what I want you to do is tell yourself, I choose to be happy. I choose to see the good in every single situation that I come across. Every single outcome works out in a way that's gonna allow me to feel even more happiness than I already feel, even more peace than I already feel, even more successful than I already feel. The more you attach yourself to these specific outcomes, the less grateful you're going to be, and the less grateful you are about your current situation, the less the universe is going to want to give you things. Why would anyone that doesn't appreciate their current environment be given more? The third thing I'm going to teach you is make you face why you keep self-sabotaging yourself. I'm going to give you an analogy. If you thought of your manifestations and your goals and your desires as the seed of a plant. Now imagine you put the plant, the seed, into soil. You water it, and then the next day you look and it hasn't sprouted yet. There's no sign of life in there. And because deep down you believe that everything you want never comes true, everything you desire never comes true, guess what? Those fears and those doubts will start creeping into your mind, right? Whether it's a month later, a year later, weeks later. Imagine you kept digging into the soil to see if it was growing. What would that do? That wouldn't even allow that plant to be able to grow at the speed it was meant to. You block its growth and you block its ability to flourish and manifest into your life. So when you want something and you're constantly obsessed, constantly checking on the views, let's say you're posting on social media, you're constantly checking the views, how many views do I have, how much engagement do I have, or you have an application, you keep checking if on the side if you've gotten any response, or whatever it is. The more you keep checking on it and keeping tabs on it, the more you will block that manifestation from coming to you at the time it was meant to. Because really and truly, you don't believe it's going to happen to you. You don't believe miracles can exist for you. It can exist for everyone around you, but not you. Why? And by doing that, you're still allowing yourself to be controlled by your old self. So when you're telling yourself it's a new year, it's a new me, instead of making that this delusional statement that you're going to say for the fun of it, how about actually adopting it? How about actually listening to the new version of you that achieves everything they want? Every time you listen to your fears and your doubts and those stupid little thoughts in your mind, you are allowing yourself to be controlled by the old you. And that is what's going to block you from achieving everything that you actually want in life. Your current self wants to change. Your current self wants to believe in miracles. Your current self wants to believe that your dreams can come true. But you have no trust in the universe. You have no trust in God or whatever higher being that you believe in. You have no trust that it's always thinking of the best outcome for you in the best way, that it will always happen in the best way possible for you. Every time you start feeling this deep fear and anxiety about your future, ask yourself, is this the voice of my ego and the thoughts that I've been conditioned to think like? Or is this actually my intuition? Is it coming from here, or is it coming from a place of lack? Because most of the time you are listening to your ego, who will always choose safety over growth and evolvement and alignment and happiness, especially when happiness has been something that you're not used to feeling. One of the most important things as well is finding a deeper meaning and purpose behind your goals. You see, I see a lot of girlies who will put a Birkin bag or a Tesla on their vision board, and these things are supposed to be like, oh, I'm rich, right? These things are not wealth though. They're not abundance. They're symbols of wealth and abundance. These are things that you get to attain through having money, right? So really and truly, why do you actually want these things? I'm not shaming you. It's perfectly normal to want these things, by the way. let's say I want a Tesla. Why do I want a Tesla? Instead of looking at it from a place of, oh, you know, it's just such a good car, it's going to impress a lot of people. No, no, no. We're not going to do that. We're going to think it's going to allow me to travel to places in the best way possible. Once you give yourself a more emotional reason to be able to work on your goals, the brain immediately starts latching onto it, because thoughts are just thoughts. I can want any physical item, but why do I want it? There has to be this deeper emotional meaning behind it, because otherwise my brain's just going to be like, oh, this is just surface level, this doesn't really matter to her. And once you stop having these surface level reasonings for your goals, your subconscious will be like, oh, I actually think she really wants this for herself. Let's try and see if we can find a solution and change our habits or change the way we currently are in order to get us closer to this goal. You need to ask yourself, why do I want money? Why do you want money? And think beyond just survival, like paying bills and whatever. Is it because you want to be able to travel the world and see more people? Is it because you want to be able to connect to certain like-minded people? Is it because you want to be able to buy a home for yourself where you're going to feel comfortable, where you're going to feel peaceful? Is it because you want more freedom within your day to do something else, to learn a skill, to be able to go to university and pay for it yourself? Whatever it is, it needs to be this deeper reasoning. Otherwise, it just feels surface level to your subconscious. It just feels like, nah, she doesn't really want it. And once you do that, you'll actually start to adopt the habits and the state of being and the emotional regulation and the thoughts and the mindset shifts in order to get to where you want to be in life. You know, I really want you guys to go into this year focusing on how you're speaking to yourself, how you're speaking to others, how you're self-sabotaging yourself, how by the time it's February or March, all of the goals you set for yourself start to disintegrate because you tell yourself some excuse that's going to self-sabotage yourself. I want you guys to be hyper aware of how the old you is going to try and control this new version of you. And I want you guys to become a new and better version of yourself after this video and dedicate the rest of this year and to be able to become the confident, aligned woman that you know in your heart you can be. Because you don't have this vision in your head for no reason. It's meant to happen unless you block it, unless you stop yourself. Thank you for listening to this video. I hope it helped.